Welcome to the Sports Betting Preview Show, a pregame.com podcast. This is a big game preview. It doesn't get any bigger than the Lakers at Oklahoma City. I'm your host, Marco D'Angelo. I'm joined, as always, by Vegas runner, VR, big game Friday night in the NBA.
Huge. And we said Oklahoma City does have the ability to make this a series. And if they do, how will this, make the rest of the playoffs? Will the Lakers have, give up so much to get past Oklahoma City that it'll make the rest of the playoffs difficult for the West? And that's what we're seeing. You see in the West, these series are going 6 games plus possibly. Out East, they've already established some of the 4-1s, and that's it. Getting to this game, Oklahoma City was going to come out the favorite the way they won at home, and they did so for Game 6. They opened it up, Oklahoma City -2 with a total of 195. Since then, no surprise, money's come in on the Lakers. Oklahoma City's now -1, and the total's just dropped 0.5 point. Looking at the series price, the adjusted series price, Lakers are -760. Plus 610 on the take-back. So chances are not good for Oklahoma City to win this series. And as it looks, not even that great to force a Game 7.
Now, as a handicapper, when you break down a series like this, on Game 4, I was all over Oklahoma City. And it was a situation where, to me, in Game 3, they got the confidence.
Yeah.
They squeaked out a win, but they won. Now, most people figured, okay, they were down 2-0. They got that first game at home.
Lakers are going to show up.
Lakers will show up in Game 4. And I was on the totally opposite scenario there because, to me, they showed themselves that, yes, we now got our first playoff win since we moved to Oklahoma City. It's a young team, break their maiden or break their cherry, however you want to term it. Once they got that first win, they had the confidence, and they just blew the Lakers out in Game 4.
Yeah, they were having fun.
Now, the flip side to that is they might have had too much fun, and now you've insulted the Lakers.
Yeah.
They went back to L.A., Kobe and company took care of business.
Put a spanking on them.
Where the first 2 games
were close. That Game 2 is where I think they got their confidence. When even though they lost by
the
3
Lakers
points.
had to go right to the wire with that game. But now it's a whole new ballgame because you're down 3-2. So now you're on the brink of elimination.
There's pressure that you had never realized before, being a new team in there.
And all of that confidence that you had after Game 4, the way you won.
They took it right back.
The Lakers took it right back. So it makes it tough as a handicapper when you break down a game like this because, let's face it, you've got veteran leadership, you've got a defending world champion Lakers playing a young team that just learned how to win.
Right.
How will they react now with being painted into the corner, the lights on, the guns in their face? Well, how do they react? What do you think?
Well, this is my free pick. And as far as the side, I'll be honest with you, I'm still working on the side, trying to see historical data and how teams their first time around do in this Game 6 situation after playing as well as they have. 2 or 3 out of these 5 games they've played extremely well. But I think the edge is in the total. I really do. They brought it out 195. And that's the second, it was what the total was, I believe, for Game 3. After the first one had gone under, the second one went over. Then in Game 3, they adjusted it up, and it went over that total. Again, I think by not bringing it back down now, I think there's a lot of value in the under. Here's the reason. Usually it's Game 5 that's that meaningful playoff atmosphere, everyone's tight type of game. But I think for this series, Game 6 is that tight game because the Lakers could finish them. Oklahoma City's in a position they've never been in before, and I don't think Phil Jackson's going to want to open this game up and give this Oklahoma City team hope and play a wild, wide-open game. I think the Lakers are going to approach this as let's systematically break them down. because we're the more talented team, we're the better team, and let's just systematically run our offense, run the triangle, and just break them down and play good defense, make a couple stops, and
make them have to execute under pressure.
Exactly. Not play a wild, let's run and gun, let's shoot some threes. Not that, because you play that kind of ball, the game could slip away from you at any time. But if you pull back the reins, you keep it under control,
right.
You've been there and done that. You're not afraid of taking a last-second shot. On the flip side, Oklahoma City has it, and like you said, let's put the pressure on them. Let's make them have to execute. Let's make them have to run a half-court offense against this strong defense and see if they could beat us that way. And because they didn't do that in games 3 and 4, and we saw what Oklahoma City was able to do, make a festive occasion out of it.
Right. When you're handicapping, and not just for this particular game and series, but for all of them, for me anyways, a series is in 3 parts. You have the first 2 games, you have the middle 2 games, and then you've got that final segment. And when you get to games 5, 6, and 7, handicapping changes when one of the teams is facing elimination. Once one team gets to 3, it changes the landscape
for the team.
The team that's facing the elimination.
Yeah, that's got their back against the wall.
You can play. It's easy to play knowing that there's a tomorrow.
Yeah, you can't get knocked out.
Even if you lose today, there's still a tomorrow. But when there is no tomorrow, things become
the rim's a little smaller. Yeah,
absolutely. And being a young club, this is where they're really going to be tested.
And that's why I think that it just makes sense to me. Following Phil Jackson, following how he runs the Lakers, it just makes sense to me that that's how he's going to try to win this game. Knowing what you said, worst case scenario, you got to come to L.A.
Right.
And you ain't winning Game 7 in L.A. So I think he's going to be able to go in there and say, we don't have to run and gun with them. We could play our style of ball. And if they could beat us, let them beat us, play their style. But we're not going to fall into that trap.
I believe that if they play a fast pace, it benefits Oklahoma
City.
Because it gives them more possessions, more opportunities.
Less pressure. You're caught up in the moment.
You can make more mistakes and
get away with it.
Right.
Yeah.
When you're playing a half-court game,
every possession starts to matter.
Right.
Yeah.
You shrink the game, and it puts the pressure on. So
that's why I like the under. I think I think there's value. I thought anything higher than 192, I was going to look at the under. And here at 195, 194 and a half, that's just icing on the cake for me. That's the position I'm taking.
And let's face it, anytime you've got a Laker game involved, you're going to get, there's always 2 things. There's a premium on the Lakers to begin with, and Vegas knows the public just put 100 people in a room, more people that know nothing about a game are going to take the over than the under.
Sure.
So now you got that added, Laker, the Lakers
such a
marquee team. You're going to get more action. That's why I think they're so hesitant to adjust the numbers down on the totals with the Lakers. So
you're right.
You get
value, especially 3 straight overs they went.
Right.
And they flew over. So I think it does give us some value now. Because, you look at that game 1, it was 192.5. Now we're up to 195. And we saw last night with that Milwaukee game, the reason I went under in that game 5 was there was almost a 6-point difference between game 1 and game 5. Now, I know we might have seen some overs, but still, I don't think the odds makers were 6 points off when they created their total for these playoffs.
Well, there you have it. You got VR's official free pick
under,
and he's 19-10 with his free picks. I'm 22-12. Quickly, we got to give away some of RJ's money.
Oh boy,
we always do. Coupon. It's worth $10, and it's Kentucky Derby week, so we're going to make the coupon Derby 10.
Derby 10, baby.
All one word, Derby and the number 10. You'll get $10 off anything you purchase this week in your shopping cart. Put it in there, you get $10. And if the price of the pick is $10, what happens?
On the house.
RJ, and he doesn't like that, but
Drinks are on the house.
drinks are on the house. So go ahead and do that. Just enter that coupon code Derby10 when you go to checkout. You'll get $10 free. This has been our big game preview. Lakers, Oklahoma City. He's Vegas Runner. I'm Marco D'Angelo. Remember, you can download and listen all of our podcasts at iTunes. Just go to iTunes and search for pregame.com. And as always, you can check all of our videos out at pregame.tv. Thanks for watching.